Hello. Hello.
1, 2, 3.
It's so cool out here. You want to run out there? Ready, let's go.
Hi, I'm Justin,
And I'm Kara.
and we are the Bowens.
We met on a dating app called Tinder.
I happened to be going scuba diving that day.
I was on a photography job out near him in Port Orchard.
I was waiting for my buddy to get all of his gear together, and we were about to jump in the car and go down to the water. Started scrolling through Tinder, and I found Kara at that moment.
And he said, I love your voice, love your music. You should come sing some songs in our studio.
And we connected. We made some great songs together that we listen to every once in a while. And we look back on them and we're like, man, we made these so long ago.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Marriage was never a thing in my mind when I was younger. Through the time that we had met, I accepted the Lord into my life. Desires kind of welled up in me to have kids and be married. The way that I view life being married now is that we're one person. And I can't imagine, I know it sounds cliche, but I can't imagine my life without her. Kara and I have 2 kids with us. We have 2 girls, Kalea and Isla. Kalea is 2.5 and Isla is 1.5. And they're both darling, and they're both very challenging, and they're both very different and unique in who they are. Kalea is such an empathetic little girl. She's a big comforter, and she can feel everyone's pain. And she's so sweet in that way. Isla is also very sweet in her own way. Her gift is like Kara's. She's very determined to get what she wants, and she's very driven in that sense. And what we really love as a family seeing them interact is they love hugging and kissing each other. And it's so sweet because these 2 little people just wrapping their arms around each other and kissing, and it's so cute. And we admire that. These moments we won't get back.
Yeah. Our baby poppy seed. God is so faithful. You took us by surprise in the time when we got pregnant with you. You're such a big answer to prayers I've prayed my whole life. On March 6th, 2022, I took a test and saw 2 faint positive lines. Your dad walked in the room and I was filming him and holding the test. He was shocked, but so excited. I remember us just laughing and laughing like,
What are we doing?
sweet scallion baby. Mama is so tired this week because you have been growing like crazy. My belly is significantly bigger than last week. I just keep thinking how truly miraculous it is to be carrying and growing you in my body. God knit you together in my womb, and He has such a good plan for your life. You were created on purpose, for a purpose, and I am just so grateful I get to be part of your story. You are dearly loved and wanted. We love you, Mom and Dad. Little Leek, you were born into this world on 10/31/22 without breath in your lungs. You were a big baby. This whole week has been filled with grief that comes in waves. God gave His one and only Son, and now we know deeply what that is like, losing you. In the morning, I didn't really think anything of it, but I went to a hair appointment that day. It was a Saturday. I remember just thinking, like, he hasn't moved in a really long time. You know, this is all in my head. So I'm just sitting there and, you know, my hairdresser has no idea that I'm having these thoughts, but I'm thinking, like, I think deep down I knew, like, something was really wrong.
We got Kara into the hospital room where we had the ultrasound, and they didn't find a heartbeat. At that moment, it's like so surreal. It doesn't feel real when you find out the news. It's like so tragic that you aren't able to process it. We just started crying, and
He laid over me. I was laying on the hospital bed and I was just like wailing so hard that my belly was just like going up and down. And just waking up on that day that I knew I had to deliver my baby and that he wasn't alive, I think that was the hardest moment of my life, because I knew, like, this thing I had to do it, but I didn't want to do it. We talked about how no matter what happens today, we are going to share God's love with people because he's still good, even through this horrible thing that we have to do.
the delivery itself was traumatizing. Being there for both births of our girls, and you see your baby come out and the baby just cries and there's movement, and like it's a joyous thing. You're crying because you're so happy. This was so different because he came out with no life. There was no crying or moving, and it was just a body without life.
Holding Luca was really special. I'm so glad we got to spend a lot of the day with him in that hospital room, but it just felt like something was stolen from me. I had to have a lifetime of memories just in those 5 hours with him.
It was hard holding him. It was beautiful, but it was also difficult too because his body was changing fairly quickly. And so we knew that we only had so much time. After being with Luca for the day, we knew the time was coming that we were going to have to say goodbye. And that was something that we were dreading. They brought a little box for us and they said, when you guys are ready, you can place him in this. That was the hardest part of the whole thing, was putting him in that little cardboard box. Felt like we were abandoning him. As we were leaving, I got a vision from the Lord. My one hand was stretched out towards Luca, and every step we took out of that room, the further and further we got away from him. At the same time, my other hand was stretched out towards heaven. God was saying, every step that you take, you're also getting closer and closer to him and me in heaven one day. God gave us a gift of faith. In this situation, I clung to him. I'm still clinging to him. I feel like there was never a moment where I doubted that he was good. Since Luca passed, I've noticed that I'm so much more sensitive. It's made me appreciate life more. I feel like it's made me more empathetic towards others because going through such a traumatic experience. It's taught me so much. It's shaped who I am and how I'm going to live the rest of my life. I know more than ever what my purpose is and my identity in God. Through the loss of Luca, it's really softened my heart. Instead of hardened it, I'm not angry at God. God is a good God. His character, his nature is good. He is for you. And it may not seem like that in this world, but it's true. I just keep playing over and over in my head that even through stillbirth, God is still good.